What's up, y'all? This is the Curious One, and I'm coming to you from the slightly less ugly table, but extremely dirty table and very cluttered table. So, I'm pretty buzzed, and I just wanted to ramble, I guess. I think. Um, so, I have this metal mesh Terminator. Really liked him because of the eyes, and it's a good looking figure. A lot better than the original Kenner, but keep in mind the original Kenner was made for children, which means that it needed to be almost unbreakable. You know what I'm saying? These definitely are not unbreakable. These are made mainly for adult collectors or people that are going to pose them and leave them in, statue type of deal. He does have a problem standing. Even in a vanilla pose like he is right now, I've had trouble getting him to stand. Originally, when I bought him, I was like, I'm gonna buy a few of these, and I'm gonna set them up, and then I'm gonna buy some little skulls, and I'm gonna put them on the shelf, and have like a whole you know just some Terminators walking around terminating and walking through skulls, you know. I thought that would be cool. Then I started thinking, I was like, man, that's $35, $35. Like, do I want to do that? Plus, I wanted to make a a crawler, which would be another $35, just so that I could break the figure and make it what I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? So kind of stopped doing the artsy thing after a while. I did graffiti for a little bit, and then, lost all my art books, and then I kind of just almost gave it up, but occasionally I would dip back into it. Um, but I do like watching YouTube videos where people do crafty stuff. So eventually, well, I think I guess I think it started with Shartimus Prime. Well, because I also used to be I used to collect GI Joes. I had a lot of GI Joes, and then when I hit about 12 or 13, it was like, it's not cool no more. So I stopped doing that, and now I'm kind of more like, oh man, these figures are ruthless. So I started watching like Shartimus Prime, Mr. Evil Cheese, um, Pixel Dan. Um, what's that one? The nerdy guy and the big dude. They do the 1/18 scale um, Marauders and stuff like that. Anyways, so even though I wasn't really doing the artsy fartsy stuff anymore, I was still kind of like watching YouTube videos because I still find it interesting to see what other people are doing, um, what they can come up with And eventually I ended up uh, finding the ACBA boys, the articulated comic book, articulated comic book art. So probably mostly because of Shartimus Prime, but that's neither here nor there. But once I kind of started looking at them, it also had to do with the articulated icons ninjas. But once I found one of their videos, then I found the next. You know what I mean? Like it recommended more of their videos, and then I started seeing like people that were doing dioramas, stuff like that. And then I found people like Al Figures and McBay, and even ran into Rocco the Great, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Um, maybe I might want to try that or something. You know, screw it. Like, so I kind of started to like slowly buy like the little things that I needed to do whatever I needed to do. Um, I have like a really crappy, like really cheap um, shelf, but I don't have anything to display this figure with. So I was like, all right, well, I'll move him up to the top shelf and I'll build like a little thingamabobber or whatever. So this is basically what I've come up with so far. It's still in work. As you can see, it's just base coated. Um, I haven't done any of the details or anything like that. I am starting to work on like the props. I think, to be honest with you, I think I'm going to keep, I'm not going to put any permanent stuff on the bottom in case I do finally decide I'm going to pull the trigger on this, you know, buy other figures to put in there. Um, like I said, there are props that I still need to build. I do want to put like a aluminum base around some of the window parts and small shards of glass. Like maybe there's a little piece of glass that's still there, but at the same time, the aluminum is going to be like bent and broken and missing in places. Um, what else do I want to do? I've thought about, um, I believe it was on Al Figures where he had like a section of broken fence that's like torn apart, but at the very bottom it still has the cement piece. I think I want to make one of those to place. But like I said, everything, I believe I want to make everything movable. I don't want to put anything permanent in case I decide that I'm going to change things around. So I have not tested this yet, but this is something that I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna try. I do have to test it on some foam and see whether or not it's gonna melt the crap out of it before I try to apply it here. Um, the Terminator does have some of these magnets here in his feet because, like I said, he doesn't stand very well. He does like to fall over. And even with the magnets and a couple of these as his base, I've still had him fall over. So I do want to, if this will work, if it doesn't eat up the foam, I would like to do the base in a magnetic, and then whatever props or whatever, maybe I can hide a little magnet here. I actually even have some smaller ones because supposedly these are 3x3, but I don't think they are because I bought 2x2s and they are like little tiny slivers. I wanted the 2x2s to go into my 1/18 scale figures because these fit like the NECA, and they fit some of the Marvel, the 6-inch scale, but they're just a little bit too big for the 1/18 scale. So I was like, all right, well, 1mm should work. But when I got them, they were like little tiny slivers. So I have to I don't have calipers. So are these bigger than they're supposed to be, or are the other ones smaller than they're supposed to be? I don't know. So like I said before, I was looking for some skulls, right? Because, you know, Terminator, Future War, um, you're going to need some skulls, right? There's going to be skulls everywhere. So I just kept like Googling 1/12 scale skulls, which I think this might be a 1/10. I'm not really sure how the scale works. I know this is like a 7-inch figure. It's not, and 1/12 is 6-inch, but I'm not exactly sure how the scale works. I'm kind of jumping back into collecting figures, but at the same time, I don't want to get too crazy because I don't have the room and I don't have the money to do it. So I'm kind of trying. I'm trying really hard to pick and choose what I'm picking up. Uh, I'm definitely gonna get that Spider-Man retro though, because Spider-Man, and I like Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero, actually. Mostly because he's weaker than his enemies, and it's a test of his ability for him to actually be able to defeat them. So that's why the first Terminator was good, because it's a human against the Terminator. I guess I gotta mention too. I understand that this guy is supposed to be the good guy. He's like on the human side or whatever. And if I don't want him to be on the human side, then I gotta pay him chrome, and I'm not gonna do that. All right, like it's no, I don't want to do that because look at that thing. That's gonna be a pain in the ass to try to do that. I picked him because I wanted the glowing eyes. You know what I mean? Like I wanted the fiber optics. And to be honest with you, even though I liked Judgment Day, I don't like the idea of the Terminators fighting for the humans because that's not the way it will work. I think it had to do with the original movie was made righteously, I guess. Um, the fear of technology and where it's going to end up. And then I think somebody got involved and made Terminator 2 to where everybody can have a pet Terminator. And it's okay because some of them are going to help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of think that they tried to lessen the lesson. Okay, so let's get back to the skulls. So I had found some that were really ruthlessly detailed on Etsy. They were really nice. But then I saw them posed up with not this exact Terminator, but with a NECA, the silver version of this without the eyes, right? And the skull looked like super big. So I saw these on eBay. I found them. The seller was Juice Tin Customs, and I was like, you know what? They look about right. I'll order 3 of them and see what's up. And then when I threw them in my cart and I went to check out, it was like add another 3 and you get a discount. Blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what? That actually seems like it's going to be a better deal for me, and that also gives me more skulls to mold and then cast, so that I don't have to do like 3 at a time. I can do 6 at a time if I want to. But they came like this, and they had a base right here. They are 3D printed. I went in, I dremeled the base off of all 6 of them, and I dremeled the jaw off of 2 of them, just so I would have a little bit of variation in the molding. They are 3D printed, so they do have the lines on them. That's not that hard to take care of. You just got to sand it a little bit. So like I said, I like to watch the Crafty Channels. I don't do tabletop gaming, but there's like this Canadian guy, and he makes some really cool stuff that yeah, I know Canadians. Anyways, he makes some really cool stuff. I like to, if something that he's doing looks cool, I'm like, all right, I'll go check it out and I'll watch him make it. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, there's even some girls like in the YouTube community that I'll go check out, like Sugar Charms. If whatever she's making kind of looks cool, I'll go check her out. Um, I saw her make some skulls out of polymer clay or whatnot, and I was like, hey, well, maybe I can do that. So I tried it, and it didn't come out like I wanted it to. So I was like, okay, well, that's not gonna that ain't gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying? So there's another girl. She does accessories for 6-inch action figures. Apparently, she has a very big collection of 6-inch Marvel Legends or whatnot, and she does like different little accessories that you can use to, you know, you can make your own DIY accessories for your action figures and enhance them. Um, I think I'm probably wrong, but I think her name is like Newbie or something like that. And I saw that she had made molds out of something similar to this. I heard other people talk about it. They called it blue stuff. Um, so I went on Amazon, made by Green Stuff, and so I went on Amazon and was looking for blue stuff, and this stuff popped up. Um, I'm not Japanese. I don't speak Japanese. I barely speak English. So I don't know how to pronounce it. To be honest with you, I don't even know the name of it. Chester Busby's not here, so he can't tell me. He's never around when I need him. I'm just joking. But he does have he does do videos, I believe, every day except for Saturday. Maybe, yeah. Anyways, the two videos that he does, live streams, that I really like, I really enjoy, is Thursday is going to be the Ultimate Edition Drawn and Quartered. The winner of Drawn and Quartered, you get to vote. If you're there, you get to vote on whose drawing is the best. So go over there, check that out. Vote for who you think drew the best. And then that person gets to go to the Pro Edition, which is hosted by Blacklist Universe on his channel. And the other one that I really like is on Sundays, and that's called TFT, just tinfoil talk, where they just talk, have a conversation about conspiracies or whatever, and it's fun, it's lighthearted, very cool. I love it. I do think I got sidetracked there for a second though. So I think we were talking about Newbie and blah blah blah, this stuff. So basically, you take it, cut it to the size you want it, you throw it in some hot water. When it comes out, it's very moldable. Push whatever you want to into the mold. Press against it. Make sure that you get all the details out of it. And then what I used was JB Weld water weld. That's what I used for all these. So I took those 6 skulls, took the base off, took the jaw off some of them, and then I made these casts. Now, let's see. Oh yeah, I grabbed the worst one. That's great. Anyways, doing them from the side, from the top, whatever. Basically, what I want is, even though they're all molded from the same skull, little I want them to be a little bit different. Some of them I want looking up out of the ground. I want them to be kind of buried. Some of them I want to be like this, like sticking out up above, because whatever. So I'm gonna take the same molds and then clean them up. Not all of them came out perfect, but I'm cool with that because they're all meeting violent deaths. So the skulls aren't going to be completely intact. Some of them have like big cracks and stuff in the... Nothing horrible, but some cracks in the orbital bone, a little crack here and there, you know what I mean? But I think it works. I think it actually makes it a little bit better. Like this one's actually missing a bunch of the teeth and stuff. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to clean it up. Clean them all up. And this is the one I wanted to talk about right here. See if we can get a good... See that? See how his jaw's all busted up? Like, if I wanted it to be perfect, then I would be disappointed. But when I actually pulled this one out, I was like, oh yeah, that's good. Got a nice big scar right there on his eye. Cracked, busted up jaw. Scar there. You know what I mean? So the other thing that I want to do with these guys is I want to sand them into different positions. So let's say I have 2 or 3 of this exact sculpt. Maybe I want to sand one down to where he's buried up to there. Maybe I want to put him this way. Maybe I want to tilt it a little bit that way. Maybe I want to tilt it the opposite direction. Same thing with this. Maybe I want to put this guy to where he's facing up a little bit more. Maybe I want to face him down a little bit more. Kind of deal, you know what I'm saying? So basically, I think what I'm going to do with this is multiple colors of gray because it's cinder block. Everything on the bottom, I think I'm going to do exactly the same way as the cinder block. With the skulls, I think I'm going to go with a bone color, but then I'm going to build it up to where it's gray because everything is covered in ash. I might actually use a little bit of ash in it. I did pick up one of these barrels. I picked up one of these lights, kind of flickers. I think I want to build a little stand there to where you don't actually see the plastic, but you see the fire come out of there. I'm thinking I want to build a base. Yeah, like I think I just said that actually. Probably poke a few holes, because if you've ever been around an actual drum filled with fire, then there's going to be holes poked in the bottom so everything burns right. I've never actually painted rust, so I'm going to have to try to find a tutorial for that, because I need this to look like a fire barrel, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have to do some stuff that I've never tried before. I also need to try to get rid of this seam, I think. I could say just screw it and do it like like that. But I might try to get rid of the seam. Another thing I saw on Al Figures channel, I believe, was a piece of fence that's kind of torn up, and then on the end of the post was a piece of foam that he made look like the concrete that when you concrete the fence post into the ground, like it had been ripped out. I think I'm gonna make one of those. Whether or not I use it, I already have the gutter guard. I have stuff to make the posts, everything. What else am I thinking? I'm thinking I'm gonna try to make some cinder blocks out of maybe some extra pieces of foam. Maybe if I have some extra weapons, I might throw some extra weapons on there. Coat them in some gray like they've been laying down there, got covered in ash or whatnot. I don't know. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it. But like I said, I think Al Figures also, I think I also saw this on Al Figures channel. When he did a wall that was smashed, he made like a piece of debris, and it had like 2 cinder blocks in it, and then it had like pieces of sand and everything he had made out of glue, and then went in base coat, blah blah blah. Then he painted it all black, and then he went back in, did multiple coats of gray. I might make 1 or 2 of those. That actually might be what I do with the skulls. I might use that idea to with the skulls, and then I can have a pile here, a pile there, blah blah blah, and I can move them around if I want to. I can put the fence over here. I can put, if I want to move it around, change it. That also gives me the leeway if I do decide to pick up another figure. Or also, I really would like to find one of these figures that's broken, because I don't want to buy one and then break it, because I would like to make a crawler. So if you guys got one of these figures and it's broken, hit me up, let me know. I'll buy it off of you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, what else have we got? I guess we'll finish it off with the disclaimer. I am the curious one. I am responsible for anything that I say, do, or post. Just because I show you something that I like, I enjoy, just because I say I like this, I like that, it does not mean that I have a personal relationship with any of the people that make those products. And none of the things that I say, do, or post should be held against them, because they have nothing to do with me. All right. Y'all take it easy. Have a good night. Try to stay out of trouble, all right? Laters.